Hey everyone, it's Rachel. In today's tutorial, I want to teach you how to color a sparkling, misty waterfall using the Color Therapy app. I know it can be challenging to tackle coloring moving water. I'll walk you through steps on how to achieve this scene. If you'd like to follow along, search for this image under Waterfall. So let's start off by tapping to fill in our background in the rocks. I'm using the brown 2 palette, the last color on the top row, and I'm setting it to gradient. I'm gonna set it so it's lighter on the top, just tapping in all the rocks. And I'm also going to just tap in the greenery too, because I'm going to use a splatter tool for that stuff. So let's go to splatter tool. And I'm just using some greens from the green palette to add some splatters. Just making nice layers. Now, if you want to follow along with some of my other tutorials on how to create leaves, you can find those on YouTube under the tutorials. So what you want to do right now is add in all of your highlights and lowlights and textures that you want to add to the greenery. And let's focus on the water now. All right, so now I've finished doing all the greenery and all the details that I want. So let's focus on the water. So we also want to start off with a brown palette for the water because the water is going to be flowing over the rocks, right? So whatever color your rocks are, just sample color from there. And then I want you to just tap to fill in your waterfall with that color. Now let's use the thin fur tool. We'll do opacity at 80 and size at 30. Let's do coloring inside the lines mode set to on, and I'm going to select white. Now let's just go ahead and brush in the water. So it's just going to come streaming down, just following the template, but you don't have to follow the template either. The thin fur tool really helps to aid in the motion of water. So I'm also letting the thin fur tool just kind of spill down. So I'm going with the movement of the shapes. So it's going up to down and curving around a little bit. Now let's use a few blues from the basic palette. So I'm just using a dark blue and a light blue. I'm just going to add it into the areas that are, I don't know, where some rocks are that the water's flowing over, kind of in a line a little bit. So for this template, I'm just going underneath where the water falls here and as well as right here. So you can see where it overlaps, and I'm just going to add in some blue there. But you can really add it wherever you want. I might add a little bit of the lighter blue too. And then maybe even the darker blue just in some areas. Now let's do size 11 and opacity at 100. Let's draw in some smaller water trails, and you can also do it outside of the waterfall too. So something coming down from the top over here, and maybe it's coming down over here as well. Just spilling over, and then maybe we're gonna have some spill over here, so you can just add some layers. This really look nice. Maybe it spills down here. Maybe let it pour over this rock right here. So we're really going to focus on that, just bringing it all the way down in a few layers. Maybe there's even some water over here on this side, just spilling down from behind that rock and coming down from the main waterfall. Remember, these are coloring inside the lines mode off right now, just adding it in. Let's go now to the airbrush tool. Let's do size 30 and opacity 60. Now with coloring inside the lines mode on, I just want to add in some white areas where there's a lot of motion, a lot of water coming down. Kind of just blending it up, blending it down. You can always remove the lines and see how it looks as you're going. Let's add a little bit of mist with the smudge tool. Size 72 and opacity 30. So let's turn coloring inside the lines mode off, and with white, let's just add it in to the bottom of the waterfall here and there. Just around the falls. And if you lower your stroke opacity, you can see there's maybe some areas you need to work on. So I would do coloring inside the lines mode, set back to on, and go back to my thin fur tool. And with white, just add in some more strokes because we don't want to have too much brown. So just add in some more as needed. Let's also use the smear tool. And I'll do intensity 100 and size at 13. And I'm doing coloring inside the lines mode to off. And I would just blend those harsh looking areas up and down with your finger, just going with the motion of the water. So that little bit of blurriness will also kind of lend the motion, like the feeling of motion with water. Now let's go to the splatter tool, size 1 and opacity at 30. Now let's use white as well as a blue from the waterfall and just add in little lines of water just coming down and splashing down. Lots of beautiful, lovely layers, sparkling water layers. You can add a little more mist too with the spray tool if you'd like. So I would do size 30 and opacity of 50. And with white, just add a little more here and there just to make it nice and misty. For fun, you can also use the fairy dust tool and add a little bit of sparkle just to really make it shine. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.